guys, so first of all, I have a massive update video coming next week because a lot has changed, obviously, due to these trying times. But I just thought that we needed to kick this off with another Am I the Asshole Bisexual edition. I did one of these about 2 months ago and you guys absolutely loved it. If you are new, if you haven't seen part 1, what we do is we go through Reddit and their little Am I the Asshole section and find the bisexual ones. Requests by bisexuals, about bisexuals, for bisexuals. I mean, I don't think they're for bisexuals, but this content is for bisexuals. It's for everyone, but we know I have a bias. Bias! Comedy queen. Also, yes, I know it is breaking news that I am not wearing black for once in my life, but this video is sponsored. I will be getting into that later in the video, but it's sponsored by Love Honey, which is a sex toy brand that I've used for literal years, and they have this little shirt, and it's so cute. It says, love yourself. There's a toy for that. But I'll tell you a bit more about that later. Let's get on with the video. I will be reading from my laptop because I'm not talented enough to have memorized all of these. Okay, so I'm 20 and I'm a bisexual woman. Recently, my niece came out to her parents and they were less than supportive. That sucks. I'm not confrontational, so to subtly show my support, that was a tongue twister, for her, I put bisexual with a pride flag in my Instagram bio because I knew my niece would see it. I don't usually tell anyone that I'm into women unless they explicitly ask. My boyfriend saw it and got really mad. Don't love that. Like, fucking furious. He says that I'm in a relationship, so there's no need to put my sexual preferences in my bio because I'm not open for shop. He said that now girls are going to be attracted to me and guys are going to fetishize me. I'm showing off. He basically thinks that this is a precursor to cheating. Oh my god, I'm already done with this dude. I have proof of our relationship on my Instagram so people know I'm not single. He says that my bio and my provocative photos are giving people ideas. I explained to him that I'm trying to show support for my niece, but my boyfriend says that I don't have a choice. I either take it out or I'm leaving. Am I an asshole? I understand where he's coming from. All his friends seem to agree with him, but I have zero ill intentions. You're not the asshole, he's the asshole, and so are his asshole friends. The thing is, right, bisexuality isn't a relationship status, it's a sexual orientation. I am currently engaged to a woman. That doesn't make me a lesbian. So you saying that your bi in your Instagram bio is the same thing as just being like, I'm a science major in your Instagram bio. Actually, no, it is different, but because it's clearly giving much needed representation and support to someone that you know and love. I'm engaged and I talk about being bi all the time, and it's not because I'm open for shop or trying to make girls fall in love with Let's not lie on this channel, Fiona. Would love it if girls fell in love with me. And I am femme, so I do need to signal any way that I can. But that's not the point. Regardless, the main reason for this is clearly representation. I did not have any of that representation growing up, and so that's why now I'm so annoying and loud online, like, hi, I'm bi, I'm femme, I exist solely on iced coffee, and we exist. So, no, not the asshole. I also think it's really sweet that you're trying to show support for your cousin who isn't really allowed to be herself around her parents, because that sucks. Next up, tonight we were sitting on the sofa watching a rerun of a spring training game. What? And my wife randomly goes, honey, I think I'm bisexual. I was pretty surprised and wasn't really expecting to hear that, especially with no preface. That's fair. I sat there for a second and then said, okay, so what? She then says, so I'm bisexual. Now, I'm not entirely sure how I said the next part, but I'll try and get as close to it as the original phrasing as I can. I said something like, okay, I understand that, but I don't know what you want me to do with that information. What are you going to do? Watch a whole lot of... What are you going to do? Watch a whole lot of lesbian porn? Knock yourself out. She got pissed off, color me shook, and said, fine then, and then got up and went into her bedroom. I then, somewhat stupidly, said, have fun, as she shut the door. I tried to talk to her just now, but she was pretty much silent and didn't really say anything. Men are so much. God, like, I get it. I know that part of being bi means you're usually attracted to men, but like, this is how we know sexuality isn't a choice. You think that we would date that kind of man if we had a choice in the matter? No. I know so many queer girls who only date bi men, and like, you know, I get it. Anyway, yes, you're the asshole, but also I do somewhat see where he's coming from. I don't think it was the right response, but it definitely caught him off guard and he kind of didn't really know what to say. So if you you are in a similar situation, here is what you could do instead. I think the nicest thing to say, especially if you're taken by surprise with someone coming out, is just thank you for telling me that. Because a lot of the time when people are coming out, especially in this kind of situation where you're like sitting alone and it's a whole thing, it can be really hard to just tell the person this thing about yourself. So if you just say, thank you for telling me that, it acknowledges that it was hard, acknowledges that you hurt them, and buys you some time to think of a response that is better than go watch some lesbian porn. Which is a whole other like stressful part, because I feel like a lot of the time bisexuality, in general, women being with women, is sexualized so much. And there are some bi people who are hetero or homo-romantic and then bisexual, so they might only be attracted to men romantically but sexually attracted to women, and that is super valid. But a lot of the time people do think that women are with women because it's like hot, right? And that's why they would do it. Like, no, Brad, women aren't being with women to turn you on. That's not, you're not part of the equation here. And so while these people exist, I don't think that was the situation here. And so by dismissing this entire announcement that she's brought herself up to say by being like, oh, so it's like a sex thing and you want to go watch lesbian porn, it just, I don't know, I don't even know if this is a bisexuality thing, but just a general lack of communication in relationships. I'm sorry, I feel like such a relationship therapist right now, but the fact that this conversation went so poorly, I mean, it's clearly a little bit about the bisexuality, but I think as well, it's just, you know, baseline, not really communicating effectively and not understanding how to process your thoughts before expressing them to your partner, or just saying the first thing that comes to mind, like, do you want to go watch lesbian porn? Who am I, a relationship therapist? Honestly. All right, it is time for some positivity now, because we have had 2 relationships ruined in one video already. Honestly, iconic. Breaking up with trash men, it's a good move. But I do want to tell you quickly about today's sponsor. I cannot express how excited I am about this. Today's video sponsor is Lovehoney. I have been using Lovehoney for years. Like, literally, my first sex toy that I ever bought was off Lovehoney. And when I was single, which was for quite some time in my 20s, every Valentine's Day, my Valentine's Day routine was to go and buy myself some chocolate and to order some sex toys online from Lovehoney. I am not joking. They didn't pay me to say that part. I have the receipts. But sex toys are just so instrumental to just vibing in everyday life, both as a single person and when you're in a relationship. This month they're promoting Love Yourself, which is why I'm obsessed with this shirt, because it says love yourself. There's a toy for that. And I swear that the stigmatization around masturbation, which is something that so many people do, if you don't, also valid, obvi. And so I want to offer one piece of advice today around masturbation, and that is not one size fits all. Everybody is unique, and taking time to figure out what you like is not time wasted at all. Lovehoney have a massive range of toys which honestly just tick all of the boxes, whether you want something light and sensual or a lot rougher, or you want to try stimulating different parts of your body, or even if you just want to see what toys you could be into and how they feel for you, Lovehoney literally has everything covered. One of my favorites that I had, I mean, one of the first sex toys I got from them was, God, I'm such a like depressing emo. One of them was a gold vibrator and it had tattoo like designs on the outside, and I was like, that is the dopest thing ever. And another was a vibrator that looked like a scorpion and it came in a coffin, and I was like, this is incredible. But I do love that they have like all those different designs. That it doesn't feel gendered. It doesn't feel like you need to be boxed in with like a soft pink vibrator for girls, because not only girls use vibrators. I don't know. I have been just a massive fan of theirs for years and years and years. And so when they reached out and asked for me to talk about them and Love Yourself and Masturbation May, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yes, of course. Also, this shirt is designed by an artist called Jasmine Hortop, and I stalked her Instagram and all of her stuff is so cool. So I would highly recommend checking her out too. This is a very solid endorsement. I have used many of their products over many, many years. All great quality, all cool designs, couldn't say better things. Okay, let's go in some more relationships. I'm kidding. This is positive. Sponsored video, it's fun. This one already has 2 bi girls, so I'm kind of living for the drama that I feel like is about to unfold. I am bisexual, and so is my closest friend, and they both have a little F in brackets, which in Reddit means female. We'll call her Amy. We're both in college and used to spend nearly every waking hour with each other. The college we attend is predominantly Christian and a very homophobic community, so neither of us are out to many people there. I mean, that tracks. While in school, I began to date a guy that I really liked, but Amy started to grow feelings for me. She admitted it to me one night, and I explained to her that I was dating someone else and I'm not interested in a relationship with her, but it would hurt to lose our friendship over her feelings because sometimes that develops when you go close to someone. She didn't like that I didn't want that kind of relationship with her and told me she could convince me otherwise. So Amy attempted to kiss me. I immediately stopped her and went back to my dorm and just decided not to talk to her for a bit unless she really needed me. About a month passed, it was almost time for Christmas break, and I hadn't heard anything from her, so I just decided to reach out and make sure she was doing okay. She ignored my texts, which I understood, so I just left it at that. Another week passed and I ran into Amy at the library, and right away, when she saw me, she immediately walked out. I'm sad already. I just care about the happiness and well-being of every bi girl, especially baby bis. While on break at my family's house, I found out through a mutual friend that Amy claimed to many of her friends that I was the one who had fallen in love with her. I told you there'd be drama. Most people from college dropped contact with me, and I was left with about 2 friends. Oh no. Wait, so because that's outing her. Oh, yikes. I hit a depressive episode during this time due to the bullying and other threats. I mean, yeah. My remaining couple of friends told me the only way to help my situation was to make a public statement posted to Twitter and Instagram explaining what really happened between Amy and me. It took a couple of months to build up the courage, but the bullying and threats continued to worsen, and I decided to do it, knowing that any statement I give out would out her as well. Am I the arsehole for doing that to stop my bullying? Also, she posted an edit saying that she hasn't done this yet, but it was really lengthy, but she hasn't done it yet, and she's asking, would she be the arsehole if she outed this girl to stop the bullying? I mean, bisexuals are messy and I love it. Okay. God. This is a tough one, because I have a personal experience with this. I get really mad when people take a situation and spin it as she did here, just twisted it and made it seem like the other way around, because it just really hurts to have lies spread about you, and especially when you feel so powerless to stop that from happening. You're just sitting there being oh, people just believe this thing, and the only thing I can do to stop it is something that goes against your own moral code. I've been in this situation, and it's just it's just really hard to come out and be oh, actually, the truth is that, but flipped. Because, who's gonna believe you when they've beaten you to the true story, but just flipped it? I don't know. It's a touchy one for me. But I also obviously don't believe in outing anyone. Oh, God. And I think the thing is as well, though, there's clearly so much internalized biphobia going on. So, in a normal situation, it would be easy to be yeah, the friend is the asshole. But, I mean, they're not really in a supportive environment, and she's dealing with her first, what seems to be her first heartbreak from a girl, and when you have that much internalized biphobia and then you make a move on a girl and then she rejects you, it makes sense that you'd be lashing out after that. So it's just really tricky, because I understand where she could be coming from, even though I don't think it's ever acceptable to out somebody, let alone in a lying situation. But those invasive homophobic thoughts, they can get to you. I also understand the importance of having queer friends when you're not in a supportive environment, because this environment doesn't seem like they have many people that they can turn to who are okay with them both being bi. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think she would be the asshole if she posted that status, but I just hope they can become friends again, because, having queer family is so important, and it's clearly just the internalized biphobia that's holding them both back, and I'm sad. Are you guys okay? I don't think they're watching. I mean, maybe. Got a lot of bi people following me, so who knows, but I hope y'all are okay. Okay, before I start crying about 2 bi girls I've never met, let's go on to the next one. So, a bit of info about me. I'm 37, male, and I'm bi, but in recent years mostly date women. I've been dating my current girlfriend, 29 female, for about 2 years now, and things are starting to get more serious. I love bi guys. Can I just say that? There's nothing else no real commentary on that. I just love bi guys. A few nights ago, we were talking about our past, and she randomly asked me how many people I've had sex with. I told her I've been with about 10 women, but I'm not sure how many men. Love that. She seemed shocked when she realized I was serious and asked what the hell I meant. I explained to her that I was bi, and that I had never felt any need to mention it until now. Fair. I'm kind of the same. I mean, obviously online I'm super annoying and mention it all the time, but in general in life, I just don't think you should have to come out as anything. It's annoying that the assumption is straight. So I haven't come out to a bunch of people because I'm why were you thinking that I was straight in the first place? That's on you. She seemed to be processing it, but then she said, wait a minute, you said you don't know how many men you've been with. What do you mean by that? I explained that I had lost count after the first 300. I love this. She screamed, what the hell? And I explained that when I was about 22, I decided to go on a trip to Europe and spend the year there, but I had no money at the time, so I worked as a male prostitute to finance the trip. That was how I paid for everything the entire year that I was there. Nice. At this point, she started freaking out and panicking that I must... Ma'am? At this point, She started freaking out and panicking that I must have AIDS and that I must have infected her. I told her not to be ridiculous, this had all been over 15 years ago, and if I had AIDS, I sure as hell would have known about it before now. I also called her out on her homophobic behavior. There. She started crying and said she thought I was a good traditional man that would have made a wonderful husband. I told her that I am. But she left and has ducked my calls for the last few days. The one time I managed to get hold of her by calling from a different number, that's kind of, I don't know. She screamed at me that I was gross, disgusting, and an asshole, and that I should have told her all this stuff 2 years ago when we started dating. She said she feels absolutely filthy having been with me, and that she will never feel clean again. Oh my god. I feel like, how was I supposed to know this would be a deal breaker for her? To me, it's all very casual, and I thought she would feel the same way. Am I the asshole? Okay, so this one I was actually quite confused about, because when you go onto Reddit, at the very top it tells you what the people have voted for. So it says, you're the asshole, not the asshole, or everybody's the asshole. And I don't typically read the comments underneath it because I like to bring my fresh hot takes to you guys, unfiltered by other people's words. But this one said, I think it was, yeah, this one said that everyone's the asshole. And I was like, where is he the asshole? The one part I think is the asshole move is when she's ducking his calls and then he calls from a different phone. But I get that because like you're trying to get hold of the person that you've been dating for the last 2 years who's completely blocking you out. So it's like, annoying that you pushed it and tricked her into talking to you, but is that enough to warrant him being the asshole? Turns out people just hate sex workers. So that's great. I think a common misconception here is that sex workers are inherently immoral and bad and disgusting, and that just is not the case. If you were on my channel thinking that sex workers aren't just people working, then I don't know. I think a lot of the arguments against sex workers are that people are tricked into it, and sex trafficking is a major issue, but there are a lot of people who are sex workers who just enjoy their job. Or, mind-blowing, there are sex workers who don't love their job and do it for the money, which is the same as every other job. I find it so weird when people are like, oh, she's just doing it for the money. I'm like, yeah, I've worked jobs that I haven't loved, but I did it for the money because capitalism. If you have an issue with sex workers doing the job for the money, take it out on capitalism, not on the sex workers. What? And some people do it because it's the best option right now and it's not their long-term plan. It's literally like all of these things can be said about almost any other job. This guy appeared to do it while he was backpacking through Europe, and it worked out. He got to backpack through Europe. Anyway, it sucks because he's been dating this girl for 2 years, he's been loving this relationship, and she's fully flipped out on him, but she's the asshole. And I personally wouldn't want to be with someone who was like, oh, you must have AIDS because you're a sex worker and you've slept with men. Like, that is just... This whole misconception that like all men who have been sexually active with other men must have HIV or AIDS is so infuriating, especially because, I'm sorry for getting so political, but especially because it's used to stop queer men from like donating blood. Like they still can't do that because people are like, oh, the HIV though, right? You can have a cis man and a cis woman have sex in the toilets right outside the blood donation booth, and it's fine, but you're a gay man who's like dared to have sex with someone in the last 3 months? Well. We don't want your blood. I don't know. Obviously, I clearly do not think this guy's the asshole. Some people would say that you need to disclose things about like your previous sexual history and stuff before you sleep with someone or before you have a relationship with them. And for me personally, I like to talk about what my past has been like and what my sexual history is with partners before I get involved with them, because that's just how I like to do it. But as long as you're tested and you're safe, then you're not obligated to share that entire part of your history. He's not the asshole. She is. That's just my personal take. But hey, I'm just one bisexual in the world. So please tell me, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on all of these? I'm so curious to hear, because what a ride we have been on today. Leave your comments down below with who you think is the asshole, how you would have handled the situation better, because sometimes life isn't easy. Sometimes life is messy and you just have to end up writing on an Am I the Asshole forum. And if you are the two bi girls, can you please message me if you guys are friends again? I really care. I really, really care. Thank you again to Love Honey for sponsoring this video. Oh my god, cute, I've got like little wings. If you are looking for a sex toy right now, or if you're not and you're just a little bit curious, want to dip your toes in, highly recommend. And I'll link everything in the description so you can go check them out. Give this video a like because I need your validation, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!